Hello everybody and welcome. I am Antipart and today I am positively geeking out about how I'm going to develop my hangar. What's my strategy for making this drone hangar more powerful than it is now? I've been playing around here with the tier 2 chips and the tier 2 drones for a little bit. I'm getting a feel for it. I'm starting to ask myself, what are my next steps? How do I take this to the next level? Now, one way would be to get higher tier chips. But the only way you can do that is with crafting chips that we buy in the store currently, or buy in the real store for money, but I'm not getting into that. So if we go to buy these chips, we're talking about 150 gold per tier 2 chip, and that's not too much if you're going to use the chip. But I'm going to go into the combine area and combine 10 tier 2 chips. That's 1,500 gold to get what? The type and tier. I don't think the tier is selected randomly. That's a weird tooltip. But the type of chip is random. I don't think playing 1,500 plus 200, 1,700 gold for a random tier 3 chip is my speed right now, and probably not a lot of people's. So let's not deal with that randomness. The randomness really is what makes these things expensive. Buying the raw materials, not too bad. Now, what if I upgrade my drones? Well, I could get a discus drone for 2,400. That's not too expensive, and that would give me maybe up to almost double, not quite, about double, a little bit under double, the energy to work with. So that's something. But really, I'm a patient person. I'm gonna wait until we get tier 4 drones in here somewhere, and I'm gonna buy some of those. But those are gonna be expensive. 6,000, 10,000 gold, somewhere in that range, somewhere up there. It's gonna be expensive. So I do want that investment to bear out well. And I know that the slots are gonna be random, right? And that's also where another element where randomness really comes into the system and makes it expensive. If you want specific slots for your drones, you're gonna have to buy multiples of the drone in order to get the slots you want. Now, I'm not going to be doing that. Actually, Pixonic might actually give us a way to re-engineer our drones. So there is some hope in that regard. But for now, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to try to put myself in a position where throughout my whole hangar, I have, at least in my mind, a use for every type of slot. So take, for example, the effect slot. That's pretty straightforward. You've got some really good effect chips, mostly the debuff ones that everyone is talking about. Then you've got the A-type, the B-type slots, the attack power. Those ones are actually pretty useful too. The modulative is the more straightforward. That's the one I've got here. But you can also take advantage of the ones that give you an attack bonus when you're immune to certain control effects. These work really well with anti-control, and I might be interested in doing those. Then we have the C-type, which I think, are not here, not pictured here. C-type right here. I've got a few of those that I like. We've got like ones that give you defense when you take damage, and ones that give you defense when you are under certain effects. These are pretty useful because even a small amount of defense points can make a big difference in the right situation, especially on a kind of a tanky bot. Like a lot of the ones I run, like Mender and Invader and stuff like that. I mean, Mender is not a pure tank, but it has a tanky element to the way that its survivability functions. And then we have the D-type chips where we get healing, and again, I'm running a tanky hangar to some extent, and while I already have a lot of healing effects, strategically applying these can work really well. So I've got a few chips in mind, at least one for every different category. So if I go ahead and were to buy a tier 4 drone, and what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to buy another tier 2 drone that I don't have 5 yet, so I'm going to buy my 5th one right here, right now, while I'm recording this. And I'm going to pretend, I'm going to do a little theater of mind, imagine that this drone has twice as many slots, but all the slots are doubled. So I'm still going to get random. It's going to give me a weird facsimile because there's obviously going to be 2 of any slot that I get, but I'm probably not going to get all the slots. And I'm also probably not going to get like multiples of the A-type that most people would be excited about, but I'm still going to be able to put this drone to use. I'm going to have some chips I think would be useful in this drone. So, change drone, we're going to go to store, and we're going to buy another defender, I guess. Oh, here we go. There we go. My engineers have built this drone. I've got 2 effect types and 2 of the repair and shield type. So that's A's and D's. That's really good. 2 A's and 2 D's. I'm actually really happy with that. I do want to play around with multiple D types to try to stack up different healing effects. And obviously having 2 effect types, you can do 2 different effects, or you can do 1 effect much more efficiently. So I could pretty much fill these in however I want. I was thinking about doing in trouble and crashing to have the different triggers to give you heals at different times. So really I wanted to combine that with reconstructive, but if we're imagining that this is a tier 4 drone with 8 slots, then I actually do have the 4 different slots to actually try that experiment that I wanted to do, and that would be really good on my invader, which I might talk about in a later video. We'll see. I mean, I got the A types that everyone's excited about, but if these had been B types, I'd still have been fine with that. I still could have. I had in mind what I wanted to do with those B types, so I wouldn't have been super disappointed if I'd got this tier 4 drone with 4 B type slots instead of 4 A type slots. So by planning that out, I'm going to be able to, when these things become available, I'm going to be able to buy them once I've saved the gold and slot them into my hangar and upgrade and level up the what I'm doing. And then at a later date, when they start giving out chips for free, I'm going to use the chips that I have no intention of using on my drones. I'm going to use those to craft, and then eventually I might start getting some tier 3 and tier 4 chips that I find useful. Then I can improve the efficiency of the slot usage and the efficiency of the energy usage on my drones and take it to a whole other level. But that's not happening until they start giving me some chips for free. So come on, Pixonic, where are those tasks or whatever that we're going to be getting free chips from? But time will tell on that. For now, that's all I have to say. If you found this informative, why don't you hit that like button, hit subscribe, because I am actually going to come out with a couple more videos talking about drones and talking about how to make the best of the current situation if you're not going to really, shell out a whole lot of money. But for now, I'm Antipirate, wishing you a good day, wishing you luck in developing your drone hangar strategy, and signing off.